Hey guys, Xoranath here. Today we're going to talk about the Boxing Club Heroic mode. I'm going to show you guys two different comps that you can use to, get some of the different uh, gear and powers here. The first one I'm going to show you is it's a Popo-based team, so an enemy HP scaling team. This is very similar to if you watch my other videos on Boxing Club for non-heroic mode for B10. Running some similar units here. Um, I'll talk about the gear on the units here, and then we'll go into a run. And then I'll run through the other team. But the other team is going to be a dot team, Nin Rat based team. So we'll walk through what that looks like. I'll talk about these guys in terms of tuning order. First unit we have moving is going to be our Puppet Artist. Puppet Artist is here to put the AoE defense down and then single target defense down on the boss. It needs to move first on your team. You want it to have good accuracy. I think like 80-85 is probably good enough for it to hit. I have Inspire runes on it, and then I'll talk about this shield set here in a second. But for most of these units, we're going to be running a lot of Inspire just to get extra damage for our Tree Doctor Evil to clear things. But I'm running Luck, Accuracy, and Crit Rate right now. I'll click through the other runes here so you guys can see those. And again, this unit in particular isn't particularly going to be a damage dealer. It really is just here to land the defense down. Extra little damage may or may not help your team get over the threshold for killing things. So you could probably try to stack some more luck on here if you want. The reason I have a shield set on here is the boss has this, which one of these is it? This passive where it's going to cause 20% glancing rate. However, each buff you have is going to knock it down by 5%. So if you have 4 buffs on your units, then you're going to negate this passive. Having a shield set on one of your units will decrease that glancing rate by 5%. So it's going to increase the stability of this team and because this run, it gets slower if you glance. That's really the issue you're going to run into. And if you have more buffs on your units, I'm not bringing a buffer into this, so we need to bring buffs through the runes, or through the gears. So we have a shield set, which is going to put shield on all of our units and give them that buff. The next unit that needs to move on your team is going to be Tree Doctor Evil. For him, you really want to. He needs to crit. So you need to get him to 100 crit rate. If he's your leader, then there's 33 crit rate you get from that, and then 15 because you're attacking into a water unit. So just make sure your effective crit rate is 100. You want him to have high crit damage, you want him to have high accuracy, and you want him to have high attack. And he needs to move second. The other stats are pretty much irrelevant on him. If you could squeeze luck on him, great. For this run, I find it's actually a pretty high damage requirement, so I'm not running really any luck on him right now. I have attack, and crit damage on him right now. I'll click through these other runes. And just a note on why we need accuracy is the S3 does more damage if the attack bar is low, and you need accuracy to push back the attack bar of the S3, so it is actually pretty important to give him some accuracy. If you're not clearing waves, I would suggest you check out your accuracy and see if that helps. Next units that are going to move on your team are the Popos, which they're built the same way right now. I have them just on some 2-piece sets here with some crit rate, some Inspire, and then an immunity set. And so if you remember, we have the immunity set on here, not so much to protect from debuffs, but to give an extra buff to reduce our glancing chance. So if you remember, we're going to have immunity and we're going to have shield, so that's 2 buffs, so that will reduce the glancing rate by 10%. There is an added bonus that, if the boss counterattacks, you won't be frozen, so, it is a plus there. I'm running luck, attack, and crit damage right now. I'll click through these other runes. And I could stand to grind some of this up, but the team's working right now, so just want to show you guys the concept here. For Popos, crit damage is the most important stat. you need to make sure they're critting every single time, and you want the crit damage to be high, and then, you know, as much extra attack as you can. This is a decent unit that you can stack some luck on. Like, I have 41% luck on this one right now. Don't really need accuracy or anything like that. I'll click on my other one, which I you know, kind of same situation here. And I'd say definitely aim for over 200 crit rate if you can. That seems to be about right for doing some good damage here. And I'll just show you guys the runes I have on this one. Again, luck, attack, crit damage, and click through some of these other ones. I need to do some mental fortress and the abyss farming. I desperately need some more grinds and gems and things right now. And then the last unit that we have is going to be our sorcerer. Most important stat I want you guys to work on is accuracy. I think, you know, aim for like 85 for accuracy or so. I think that's what it is. If anybody knows the minimum accuracy for this, you know, please jot that down in the comments. I know that I've been running like 85 and above, and that seems to be working all the time. Doesn't need to have 100 crit rate, but I find the extra damage is helpful for consistency. I'm running right now luck, accuracy, and crit rate. And I'll just click through some of these other runes, these other gears, so you can see what's going on. Yeah, and the reason we're bringing the sorcerer is for the attack, essentially for attack bar reset on the boss, and for this crit rate leader skill. You know, my speed team, I was running 3 popos. For this one, I'm trying to get more luck onto the team, so we're not going to be able to do as much damage with the popos and clear it. So just having an extra reset in here with the blue sorcerer is good. And you know, for this one, I aimed for, you know, I have 200 luck here. That includes the 30% from subscriptions and then minus 50% from heroic mode. But if you guys want to see the breakout of my luck here, there you go. For this particular comp, I want to talk about the gear and powers real quick. So this one does not work for the Swift. The comp I'm going to show you after this, if you're trying to do trying to farm for Swift, you're probably going to have to use something like that. This one won't work because of the immune to action bar. This team really needs that water sorcerer action bar reduction, so it doesn't work well for that. Works great for the bash here. You could do bash, the freeze by the boss 2 turns. Not a huge impact on us, especially because we do have a couple immunity sets on our popos, so you know they're kind of protected. Not great on the revenge. I wouldn't try to farm revenge with this one. That AoE freeze is kind of nasty and will probably cause your team to fail. But you can do the fatal, the power, and the inspire just fine. You know, boss's crit rate, boss attack power. If you are doing some of these and your run's dying, you might need to add in a little bit extra HP for survivability. If you find that you're taking some damage there, but I haven't had too much of an issue with that. And then the other thing is you can't do the robust body because we are proportional to target HP, so you can't run that. But you can, you know, depending on how much luck you want to run, you can do the chance for Illyriums. So with that, that's enough talking about it. Let's go in and just watch this team in action. So I'll just hop into a quick battle here. I think the average for this team right now is like 39 seconds or so. So we go in, AoE defense break, Dr. Evil clears it. Second turn, we're going to defense break, do some damage, and popos are going to clear this off. Third wave, we just repeat wave 1, AoE defense break, and then clear it with the tree Dr. Evil. And then we go to the boss wave, we're going to put a defense break on. Then we're going to pot shot it with the Dr. Evil. Popos are going to do some good damage, and that's where the extra buffs that you have come in handy to try to reduce glance. There is RNG with it. Sometimes you'll glance with this team, sometimes you won't, and it'll take you a couple extra hits. But after that, the water sorcerer will come in and reset, and then you just kind of however much damage you need to finish it. That one was a 43-second run. So yeah, we had a glance with the popo at the beginning there, but we, you know, did try to reduce that. We'll see if we get lucky here on this, and for my stuff, I'm gonna sell that one. Let's do another run here. See if we glance again. And again, just trying to reduce that glancing chance with this team with just having the shield and the immunity. So that's 2 buffs, so minus 10% glancing chance. You still have a 10% chance to glance. So, that'll happen every once in a while. Every blue moon, yeah, that 10% is really going to matter, and it could cause your team to fail. But right before this, did a 20 run, and I think we failed one time because of the glancing. So there was a glance, but let's see if our Popos glance. 100,000, 100,000. Yeah, so they didn't glance there. They're doing 100,000 damage, which is, pretty good damage, and then they'll come in and finish it off here. So that was a faster run. Let's see what the time was on that one. Was it fast? I don't even know. 40 seconds. Anyway, you guys can see what kind of stuff we're looking at with this one. I'm just going to sell all this. Go back. Yeah, so there you guys go. If you're trying to farm Bash or something, I think this is a completely workable team, especially if you've been working off of my previous videos and just want to kind of adapt that team. This is a pretty decent setup. You could stack more luck if you guys have it. Yeah, but there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. Now we'll shift over and talk about the other team. All right, guys, for this second comp, I want to do it kind of in reverse order because I want to show you how the team works and then talk about the gears. Because I think doing it in that order for this team will make a lot more sense because some of the timings are a little more intricate or complicated than they are in the Popo team. So we're going to watch a replay here. So the way this one works is we start out with the attack buff from the Steel Wings, and then we have our Tree Dr. Evil go in and clear things. I don't have a defense breaker. On this second wave, basically we are stacking up a bunch of dots and then exploding it with the pirate. And the turtle is in there to help with the appropriate timing for skills, so it's giving that cooldown reduction. Third wave, again, just attack buff, and then Tree Dr. Evil is going on the boss wave. Hopefully you hit with the Steel Wings and get a couple debuffs there, a couple of dots, and then more cooldown reduction, and then our rat's going to go put a bunch of dots, and then we're going to blow it up. So that's the way this team works. So I wanted to just show you that, so whenever I talk about the turn order, it's so that chain of events happens. And with this team, my best has been about 33 seconds, and then, that particular run was 36 seconds. So this is a bit of a faster team than we were doing with the Popos. However, for me personally, I don't have as much luck on this particular team. A lot of my luck stuff is over on that other team, but I have this team set up just to show you guys, like, this is another version of a comp that you can use in here, and this particular one works, so I'll kind of walk through the stats here. But of course, if I was farming this, I would want to stack up this luck a whole lot more. Yeah, and in terms of the units, the first unit that moves, like I mentioned, is going to be your Steel Wing. He is here for kind of two purposes. One is to put that attack up on your wave clearer at the beginning, so Dr. Evil, that gives him enough damage to clear the waves. In the other comp we were looking at, we used a defense breaker to get enough damage. Here we are using an attack buffer. They kind of accomplish the same thing, but there is an extra benefit here of the S1 can put dots. It's a little inconsistent. They can make your run a little bit faster if you land one or two of these dots on the boss. Then you can one-shot it with the pirate. The activation rate is only 50% chance on each of those, and there's also that chance of glancing, so doesn't happen all the time. For him on intelligence, I did want to flag that I do have the S2 off. He doesn't need to do that in this particular comp. And just full inspire on him. I have him on speed, accuracy, and attack. And I'll just click the other runes. His build, you really just want him to go first, and then you want him to have good accuracy so that he lands the poison bolt dots. He's not a main damage dealer or anything, so other stats are kind of whatever. The next unit we've already, this is the exact same build for Dr. Evil. I'll just click through the runes again, attack, or attack, crit damage, sorry, and I'll click through these other ones. Yeah, so he's our wave clearer. And then next in the comp, and just so that the cooldowns work out the way that they should, we have the tree turtle moving. And again, he has this S3. We're using turtle tank for a couple of reasons. One is he's decreases cooldown. The other is he's going to give us speed buff, so that will help with reducing the glancing chance when we get to the boss, because we'll have another buff. Full inspire again, just trying to get enough damage to clear things. I just have this one on HP right now. Like I said, if I was actually farming, I might, you could probably even put luck on him or something. Just try to stack up some extra luck. Totally an option. Next unit that I want to talk a little bit about is our Ninrat, and I think Ninrat is the most important one to gear properly. As I kind of said, Tree Turtle and Steel Wings you can kind of do whatever with. For Ninrat, I think that it's a little more specific and what I'm going to recommend you guys do. So we're trying to get to that 4 buffs on him, right? So that we have that negate the glancing chance. So I actually am running cloaking on him and a will set, okay? And then on one of my other units, on the pirate, we have a shield set. So we are going to have immunity, we're going to have cloaking, we're going to have shield, so there's three of the buffs on him, so the glancing chance is going to be much lower. On Ninrat, right? So the most important thing is that he lands his dots, and you need a couple of stats working to land his dots. You need to have accuracy, and you need to have crit rate. So with whatever your leader, I'm running the 33 tree lead, and then there's a plus 15 advantage attacking into the water unit, so I'm going to crit every time. And accuracy, like I said, I don't know what the exact threshold is, but 80, 85 seems to be about. I don't think I'm missing when I'm doing this. Maybe, yeah, like I said, if you guys know in the comments, let me know what it is. You could educate me. I don't know. But yeah, he needs to have crit rate. He needs to have accuracy. I'll click through the gears that I have on him right now. I have attack, accuracy, and crit rate. Click through these other ones. You guys can see that. Intelligence, just high, mid, low for him. And really, it's there to land that S3 onto the mid boss and explode it, and then land the S3 onto the main boss and explode it. And then talking about the pirate, so the pirate is here pretty much solely to do this S3, which blows up the dots. So he's very weird in terms of his mechanics. So even if you're like, it says damage is like the attack by 300, that's not actually gonna do all that much, even if you stack like attack and crit damage and all that on him. Really, the exploding dots are what's gonna do your damage. So not super critical that he's super high damage or anything. I do have accuracy and crit rate. He's the one that I'm maybe the least personally familiar with what he actually needs. So maybe this is one you guys can help me out with. Like, does he actually need all the accuracy or anything? The way I play is I just know this works. So I'm gonna give you guys that. Maybe a little bit of extra work on your end if you if you don't want to run accuracy or something. You could do some testing. I just don't know. But I do know this S3 blows up the boss and does some damage and kills it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I do have a shield set on him because, we want to put the glancing chance down and all that. I have attack, accuracy, and crit damage right now on him. And I'll just click through these other ones. This might also be another unit that you could stack up a bunch of luck on. You guys can work through that for your comps. What's the high, mid, low for the intelligence. He's never going to do these other ones. It doesn't matter. It's just he's only going to do his S3. And so there you guys go. So that's those are the gear setup for these guys. A little bit of a faster team, and like I said, if we talk about the different things here, so for this one, I would, if you're trying to do grind for swift gears, this is a lot better of an option than the Popo team, mainly because we're not relying on the action bar reduction. Couple other things to note with this one, again, you can't do the robust body because we're actually, I don't know, this could be interesting. So damage dealt by continuous damage, does anybody know? I actually have, maybe we could do a quick test. Let's do a quick test again. I'm going to learn in real time whether the exploding dot counts as damage, continuous damage over time. So let's just see if this fails. I actually have no idea, and we're gonna learn this together in real time. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna speed it back up. So we get to see tree. Yeah, we'll find out right here, maybe, because we'll put a bunch of dots and then see if they, see if this turtle dies or not. It didn't die. Yeah, okay, so maybe, yeah, it doesn't look like we can run the universal gear on this team because even if you're exploding dots, it's still capping the damage there. Yeah, and it's best to run up. So we're just going to abandon that. Yeah, but there you guys go. Those are two different teams that you could consider here for running heroic mode. I hope that's helpful. Let me know down in the comments if what teams you guys are running, if you're running some other things. I'm still just kind of experimenting and just wanted to share with you guys just kind of where I was with some of these teams. Still probably not optimal, but they're, from my perspective, they work. So I'll just leave you guys with that. Hopefully that's helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.